Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Seams. I'm your host, Michelle Washington. Today, I'm sitting down with attorney Nik Sallie of Tastemakers Legal. In fashion, everyone wants to make a name for themselves, but protecting that name? That's a whole different story. Nik safeguards brands from making costly mistakes. So, do not adjust your screens because the fashion revolution is being televised.
You know who made it.
Nik, it is so lovely to finally have you in the seat. You are so busy. As a matter of fact, you just got in from France.
I did. First of all, it's so great to meet you. I certainly appreciate the invite. And yes, my fiance and I just got back from France. 10 glorious days. We spent time at a chateau that's 3 hours south of Paris. Root and Rise is the place, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Chef prepared meals. They had a pool at the chateau, cooking classes, art classes, all that kind of stuff. So
wow.
we were in heaven.
Wow.
We were in heaven.
Now, did it inspire you to maybe brush up on your French, like parlez-vous français, oui, French fry?
Oui. Listen, I did the best I could. When it comes to food, yes, I know a little bit more French, but the great thing is my fiance, she's Haitian, and so she knows French and Creole, so we got by just fine.
Now, I'll say this. Was there a snail anywhere in sight on your plate?
Oh, twice.
Oh,
Twice. The escargot happened.
Okay. If you tell me it was good, I'll believe you and I'll be inspired to try it myself.
It was delicious. It was absolutely delicious, decadent, because all you taste is butter and garlic.
Okay. I can get down with the snail that's about butter and garlic. All right.
Yes.
Not a dare.
Yeah.
Well, Nik, after being pampered and everything, I have to say, I'm happy to have you here. You know I love your earrings.
Thank you. I always get compliments on these earrings. These are from Koi, Khoi. It's a Black woman-owned jewelry brand in Chicago. And so I've started to collect her pieces because they're just beautiful and sculptural. And they always make me feel beautiful. So yeah, I had to wear them for you today.
I'm inspired by these earrings as well. I need to have that Nik look, given the France feels and Chicago artist feels.
I think you're doing just fine.
Well, I have to know, where are you from?
Yeah, I am from Dallas.
Okay.
I'm from Dallas, Texas. I grew up in DeSoto, so that's in South Dallas. And then I grew up 5th grade through high school in East Texas in a really small town near Texarkana.
All right.
So when I came back to DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, to the big city, it was to go to college at TCU.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
we glad you stayed.
So am I.
Now, you know what I'm really curious about? What inspired you to get involved in a legal career? What was your calling? Were you watching all of those lawyer episodes?
That's so funny. I mean, my mom watched Matlock and Perry Mason way
you go.
back in the day, but that was not my jam. Now, I got interested in legal matters because my mom's an entrepreneur. She's a seamstress, and she's been working in like home decor and home design for like 30 years or whatnot. And so just seeing her run her own business was really inspiring. But when I was at TCU, I got an internship at EMI Music Marketing, and I got hired on after graduation. So I was the youngest person in Dallas-Fort Worth on my team. My team was in the Southwest region. I had Dallas Fort Worth to myself at like 21, 22 years old, which is a major market.
Wow.
And so Virgin and Capitol Records was trusting me to make sure that the artists were taken care of when they came through. So I was helping artists like Janet Jackson and Lenny Kravitz and smaller bands and 30 Seconds to Mars, whenever they came through, throwing the album release parties and all of that. It was fun. It was fun running around Deep Element, going to the clubs, things like that. But I started to wonder, am I actually having an impact? If I'm the band's manager or I'm their attorney, I will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm helping them move their career forward. So that's when I went to law school and I focused on intellectual property. Yeah.
I like how you segued into that. Your career is built on helping people.
Absolutely.
That has to feel good to know that you're making an impact like that.
Always. And I think even when I went to Texas Christian University, I was always involved in organizations that were for women's empowerment. I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta. It's really always been about, how do I help people move their ideas forward? How do I help them to take what they're thinking about and make it something that's actually useful and they can put it out into the world to help other people, including themselves? So it's about the economic empowerment. It's about the creativity, all of that.
In this day and age, with entrepreneurship, and I love that your mom is also a part of the apparel fashion industry world. I see how this tied together. So with that being said, how many creatives do you happen to come into play within our industry that need trademarking and IP help?
So what's interesting about that is there's different types of intellectual property. You got patents, you got copyright, which is mostly for music and movies and books and things like that. But you've got trademarks, which is about protecting your brand. And I love trademarks so much because every business has a brand. Every business has a name. And so every business has to be concerned about trademarks. Now, does that mean that the founder is actually concerned with it? No, I do a lot of education trying to help business owners and founders understand the importance of intellectual property. A lot of them wait until it's too late, but I'm doing everything I can to keep them out of court. I really am.
So I'm sure you've heard this phrase before. Oh, I'll do the legal stuff later. I have to get my website, my Instagram, all those things, and I'll get it later, and then they hit you up with the email. You have to see this a lot.
I do. And first of all, I want to say, with all due respect to founders and CEOs, because I am one, I get it. There's so much on our plates, especially when we're a solo. We are wearing the hats of 4 people: the marketer, the admin, the financial person, and the key person of influence who's running the business. I get it. But a lot of them are focused on revenue.
Yeah.
I don't blame them for that. But when it comes to trademarks, it's really put on the back burner. It's one of the last things that they think about. It's one of the last things they think about conceptually, I think. But from a business standpoint, obviously, they're like, I don't want someone to steal from me. Everybody comes to me and says that, well, I don't want to talk to anybody about my idea because I don't want them to steal it. They don't realize that's part of intellectual property. They're thinking about it, but they don't know how to name that as trademarks. So the fear is there up front, but the enforcement and the legal protection piece is what they put on the back burner.
Tips and tricks. I'm saying, maybe not the tricks, but what are a couple of things you wish people would put into play? Like if you said, hey, I want to help you with this, because I know that you offer something that's really great, which is a free 15-minute inquiry. People should take the knowledge and that chance to say, I'm getting this kind of help from a professional. What are some of the tips that you try to guide them?
So a lot of people will complain that they don't have access to an attorney or that it's too expensive, but I think they're not thinking about long term how expensive it would be if first someone's suing them for trademark infringement and what the cost of hiring an attorney at that point would be.
Wow.
The upfront investment of talking to an attorney as you're building your business is really important, but that's why I offer the free 15-minute consultations. I want people to have access. I also do webinars that are free and things like that because I want people to have access. The tip for me, though, is not even about intellectual property. It's about leaning on contract law first. I want you to have a non-disclosure agreement.
Okay.
I want you to have an NDA before you start having conversations with people, especially if it's around money. if you're looking for some kind of investment or loan, or you're simply trying to ideate with someone else and you're bringing them in as maybe your COO or CMO, and you need to have conversations where you're going to be sharing really important and confidential information, I need you to have an NDA in place. I call it hush paper. I need you to have that signed. And a lot of people are embarrassed about that because they're thinking, well, who am I? That person's gonna, think that I'm thinking I'm all that, and why would I ask them to sign this piece of paper? Are you running your business or not?
Okay.
Are you? is this philanthropy or charity or playtime or what? And even philanthropy and charity, those are real businesses. Nonprofit does not mean non-revenue. That's a real business. But if you're going into business for yourself and you're wanting to make money, you have to stand up and say, this is important enough for you to sign this paper, because I'm going to be talking to you about things that are important to my business and I need to protect myself. It is not an insult to the other person to ask them to put their signature. And if they have a problem with that, that's a clue that you don't want to do business with them.
Okay.
If they're saying, oh, this should just be a handshake deal, or my word is as good as my bond, well, then your word is as good as your bond and your signature can be too.
Okay. Fashion is a business.
It is a business.
All right. Look. Now, I love the name of your legal practice, Tastemakers Legal. How did you come about the name?
Yes, so just to nerd out really quickly, professional organizations like law firms and accounting firms, historically, we could only use our names. The partners who own the law firm, you would see their name. So if you think of like a Norton, Rose, Fulbright, those were the three people who owned the firm. Then there's a rule that changed that. We no longer had to use our names. We could use a trade name, which was great. And as soon as they brought that rule about, I was thinking, okay, trademark attorney, let me come up with a really nice trademark for my law firm. I don't want it to be my name anymore, which to me was boring. But Tastemakers has a double meaning for me. So I'm a creative. I'm a musician myself, but I love fashion. I used to have a fashion blog when I was in law school called Thread Conscious. But I'm also a foodie. So my love language is brunch.
Okay.
So just thinking through all the things that I do with like my supper club and things like that, Tastemakers was a clear decision for me. But also the founders and CEOs that I'm working with, they are on the cutting edge of creativity, of innovation. And so they are leading the charge for whatever changes they're wanting to make in the world. So they are also tastemakers. And so the firm was really named in honor of the people that I am supporting. Of course, we want to help anyone who needs that kind of guidance, but I also focus and have an emphasis on people who identify as women, Black, Indigenous people of color, and queer founders, and I sit at the intersection of all three of those identities.
Everything you do has been powerful and impactful, especially to your clients, especially to the community. What other kind of tips would you give when people are creatives trying to establish their trademark to their brand name?
I'll give some non-legal tips and then some other legal tips. And of course, it's always legal education, never legal advice. But the first thing that I would want a founder to do is really get in touch with their mindset. Because if you have so much doubt, if you have so much fear and you're carrying that forward with you with every decision you make, you're basically making things 10 times harder for yourself. So really work on the mindset, really get clear about what it is you want to accomplish with this business. And sometimes it's not even the money that's most important to them. What they really want is a creative outlet or freedom, or they're trying to prove something to their parents or something like that. They need to know that. Yeah. I think it's important to know. Then the next tip is, when you are starting out and you've got that clarity, it's always a good idea to have a business plan. And when I say business plan, I don't mean a 20-page, 30-page business plan that you would have if you're going after investment. I mean a 1-page, 2-page type of thing that's abbreviated. And I use something called a business model canvas when I am with my clients, because I do business coaching as well. You can't really escape it. If you're talking about the trademark, you're talking about the business. So the business model canvas is an abbreviated 1-page business plan that you can fill out online. You can just search for it. It's free. It will help people have like a roadmap about who their competitors are, what marketing channels they want to go through, that kind of thing. The next tip is, when you're thinking of a trademark, if you can think of it in 10 seconds or less, it's probably already taken.
Oh.
Somebody else probably already thought of it, and they probably are in your same industry.
All right.
So if it it takes you no time to actually think about it, then somebody else probably already has it and you should not use it.
There are probably some people watching this crying right now, looking for you.
I try my best to make sure that there are no tears, but I also, as someone who's an advisor, I tell my clients all the time, I'm not a yes person. I'm not going to always tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what's happening, what the facts are, so you can make an informed decision. That being said, when I come across someone who doesn't have a great trademark, I've learned to deliver that news in the most gentle and strategic way possible. But please, the other tip is don't be married to the trademark name that you've chosen.
Right.
We're not all born knowing how to evaluate trademarks. So if you love this trademark and you've just been hanging on to it for a couple of years, know that I might tell you to let it go.
Ouch.
Because it could be something that gets you sued.
Ooh, okay. Save some people, yes.
Yes. So, and that if someone's spiritual, then I'm telling them lean in on your faith. This just means that God is providing another pathway for you to have an even better trademark that is going to keep you safe and make sure you have your own place in the market and bring even more clients to you, paying clients. So don't be married to that trademark.
Heard. That was a word for everyone. And let's break that fourth wall. What would you say to the viewers as we wrap up our session?
I would say you need to not only learn to trust yourself, but to trust others. That NDA will be super important. I know a lot of us are told to go after it by ourselves, but listen, everybody who's successful has a team. So I want you to have a team mindset. Your brand is important to protect, and just know that there are people out there like me who you have access to for free, and we will be there to support you.
And everyone, as you know, the fashion industry is a mountain. And once you make it to the top, just remember, it was worth every stitch. And remember, a smile is always in style. Keep it fashionable.